Now, at one point in this video, there probably will be a bobby pin just hanging for dear life on a strand of hair because I could not find my hair donut today. And normally I don't use it, but I feel like lately I've kind of relied on it, and so this bun is just slowly melting as we speak. So I guess we better hurry up and just get into this video, right? Okay, hey guys, how are you doing? I hope your day's going well so far. Today I'm gonna be doing my top picks from MakeupGeek. Originally I thought I was gonna be able to keep this down to 10 products, but there's just no way. I feel like I use at least 3 MakeupGeek products on not a daily basis because I don't wear makeup on a daily basis, but on days that I do wear makeup, I'm like always wearing at least 3 MakeupGeek products. I'm just obsessed with the line. The eyeshadows are amazing. If you guys have been on YouTube for a while, then you probably have already heard everything about them. Honestly, I don't think I've really ever found a shadow from the collection that I didn't like. Maybe a color that I wouldn't use as much as other ones, but formulation wise, I feel like they're pretty much all like spot on and amazing. The best part is the entire line is super affordable. So I have 4 different categories here. I'm gonna kind of start with the products that I have the least of and I guess move that way. So the first product that I have are brushes. I want to say the brushes came to the line maybe earlier this year. I don't think it was last year. I'm pretty sure it was this year. I'm pretty sure I have all of them, but there's 4 of them that I really wanted to share with you guys. The first one is actually a face brush. Honestly, the brushes I don't remember the price point of, so I will go ahead and list them right here. All of the information, details, direct links to individual products will be listed down below. So the first brush that I have here is for your face, like I mentioned. This is the Face Buffer Brush, and I love this thing for liquid foundation, CC creams, all that good stuff. It's such a nice brush. Like before I even touched it, just like by, I guess, visual standpoint, it wasn't anything that special. The bristles look like they would be rough, but they're actually not at all. They're so soft. The density, the length of the brushes or bristles, everything about this brush just works perfectly for me. She also has this brush here. I know you guys are probably thinking, Dana, those need a bath. Don't worry, they're gonna get in the bath tonight. They need to be bathed because they are dirty. The other foundation brush though is the foundation stippling brush. Honestly, I feel like I use this one way more. I use this when this one is dirty, but I actually have 2 of these. I love it that much. This one is nice, but there's something about this one that just like gets into every little nook and cranny and buffs out my foundation flawlessly. I seriously love it. If you're only gonna get one MakeupGeek brush, I feel like it should be this one. Okay, and then the other 3 that I have here are all eye brushes. The first one is the soft dome brush. I'm not gonna go on too long about this. It's just a really nice crease brush that you could use to buff out your transition zone. This has been in like several favorites videos. I love it that much. I really like the fact that it's kind of like tapered to a nice point. Love this one. The other one is a crease brush as well. This one does have a point too, but it's kind of like denser and firmer than this one. The soft dome brush is definitely softer and fluffier, but I like to use this one to kind of buff like the color all back and forth throughout the crease. And then this one here, I like to concentrate more on my outer corner. It kind of just reminds me of a larger pencil brush in a way. I just feel like it works perfectly for the outer corner. Speaking of pencil brushes, I have this one here. This is the pointed crease brush. Now, when I first got this, I wasn't that crazy about it because I was so hooked on the Sigma E30, which I still love this one. I feel like I do still prefer this as a pencil brush over this one, but I use them for different things. So that's really all I have for brushes. Her other brushes are nice, but none of them really stuck out as much. I think the only brush that I wasn't crazy about, it's either the contour or the blush brush. I want to say it was a blush brush. I felt like it was so small and just didn't really work well. Maybe it's just because I have chubbier cheeks. I actually use that more as a contour brush than an actual blush brush. So that one was just one that I don't think I would really ever repurchase, but those 4 that I just mentioned, I love. Now moving on to pigments, I have 7 here. I know that's ridiculous. We are just gonna zoom through these. I feel like MakeupGeek, besides the eyeshadow, she's known for her pigments. She just creates some awesome colors. This was really hard for me to like dwindle down the pile because I just wanted to share every single one of the pigments. Get quite a bit in here. It's 1.4 grams, 0.05 ounces. It's gonna last you forever because these are so pigmented. And if you guys are familiar with like the pigments from MAC, like the holiday collections, you rarely even get through those. So these I feel like would last a lifetime plus more. I've actually emptied out some of those little MAC pigment ones and then dumped some of these ones in for friends so they could try. So the first one I have here is called New Year's Eve. This is just like an awesome kind of like iridescent, I feel like it's a bit more coarse than the other pigments. I feel like this one is almost like a super, super fine glitter, whereas the other ones definitely feel just like a normal pigment. I never really use this one on its own. I like to use this more as a topper, but it's so, so gorgeous. It's just kind of like a golden champagne iridescent color. Now, moving on to the next color, I guess I'll kind of go from lightest to darkest. This one here is Afterglow. I feel like this is a pigment I hear a lot of people talk about. When you first open it, it just kind of looks like it would be just like meh, kind of a golden beige, but on your eyes, it's absolutely stunning. I really like to wear this one kind of like on the center of my lid. I just feel like it really makes your eyes pop and just looks amazing. There's Nightlife. This is more of kind of like a taupey shimmer. Birthday Wish. I love this one. It's kind of like a faint rose gold. Then you have Vegas Lights, which is a true rose gold. Now this one and Utopia kind of have a different texture than the other pigments. I feel like the other ones are super finely milled, whereas these ones, I don't want to say they're chunky, but they're almost kind of flaky. Like they're larger flakes rather than just like a pigment dust. But Vegas Lights, I'm pretty sure I've done a tutorial using this one before. It's like the most metallic, gorgeous rose gold pigment I've ever seen. It just makes like any hint of green that you may have in your eyes pop. I absolutely love it. Then I feel like the one that MakeupGeek is the most well known for is Utopia. This is such a unique color. It's kind of like an olive green, but then a brown with a blue duochrome. It's just super, super interesting. You'll see the swatch going on right here. It's hard to describe, but if you use this with a wet, flat shader brush and just pack it onto your eyelid, it's incredible. Okay, and then the very final one I have here is called Insomnia. This one reminds me a lot of from MAC. I want to say it's called like Blue Brown or something. I'm not one of those like crazy people who are obsessed and know all things MAC, but I actually have a sample of that pigment and I feel like it's very similar to this one. So it's another one of those really cool kind of unique duochrome colors. Okay, I feel like we did pretty good with the pigments. We zoomed through those. Now moving on to blushes. Just like the eyeshadows, you can buy the blushes in the pan form like this, or you can get it in the compact. Honestly, I don't remember the price difference. I know pan form, they're $9.99. There's just something that's way more convenient about having products in a Z palette. These are actually all the products that we're gonna talk about today. I know, I moved everything into one Z palette. First of all, the magnets on these are so strong, like they are sturdy. Sometimes some of the MAC shadows, I feel like they don't work as well. Like they stick, but nothing like these MakeupGeek ones. These are magnetized really well, so you don't have to add a magnet. They just pop right in. Okay, so these were the three blushes that I wanted to share with you guys. There are some gorgeous pinks and corals in the line, but I definitely do use those, but I feel like these are the three that I gravitate towards the most, kind of more of these like neutrally type colors. So the first one is actually one that I'm wearing right now, and it's called Infatuation. This is just a gorgeous kind of matte terracotta color. I feel like this would be a color that would look gorgeous on all skin tones. I feel like it's something you could wear all year round. Like today, how I'm wearing purples and gold, sometimes I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want to add more pink onto my face, so I popped a color like this on. I love this one. I actually took this blush, and then the next one I'm about to talk about. These were the only two blushes that I packed when I went to Florida for a week. The next one is Spellbound. This is more of kind of like a neutral matte pink. Really, really love the matte blushes in these lines. I feel like they're super pigmented. Sometimes with matte blushes, I've come across a few that go on kind of chalky and make your cheeks look dry. These are matte, but they're still really nice and creamy, so I love that. Now, the only shimmery blush I have here is this one called Romance. I actually really like taking this one and applying it on top of Infatuation sometimes, and it kind of transforms the color into more of like a bronzy shimmer rather than just like a flat bronze. It's just one of those blushes that I feel like works great as a topper. It kind of like turns one product into something else. So I've worn this over Spellbound before as well, but these two make such a gorgeous combination. It just gives your cheek a really nice healthy glow. So love those. Okay, now we can move on to the most exciting part, which are the eyeshadows. I feel like that's what I get the most questions about. Honestly, MakeupGeek eyeshadows are easily like my top favorite brand when it comes to eyeshadows. I feel like these are the shadows that I use pretty much on a daily basis. So I went in and kind of arranged these in like the order that I would use them, except for this bottom row here, but whatever. We'll go ahead and start from the top. Now, just like the blushes, these do come in compact form. I've never bought them that way, so I'm not sure how much they cost if you buy them like that. But if you buy them in pan form like this, they're $5.99. They're the exact same size as MAC shadows, and honestly, I feel like they're better quality. I haven't come across like a single dud when it comes to the MakeupGeek eyeshadows, whereas in a couple of my MAC shadows, I feel like, you know, ones that I ordered online and didn't take time to swatch, I'm kind of like, it's like just kind of so-so, like the formulation isn't all there. These are just seriously so spot on. I love her color selection, so pigmented, so creamy. They're just amazing, and they're $5.99. Like, why wouldn't you? So starting from this very top row here, these are colors that I would use as my brow bone highlight or my inner corner highlight. The first one here is called White Lies, and this is just a really nice creamy matte white. It's not, I know this is weird to describe a white like this, but you know how some whites can be like really, really cool to where they almost look like ashy and gray or blue? This one isn't like that. I feel like it's a really nice creamy white, and it works well under my brow bone without looking like too stark. Like I have some of it on today. The next one here, I forget the name, Vanilla, right? Yeah, this is Vanilla Bean. This is another nice matte brow bone highlight. This has more of, as you can see, kind of like a creamy beige to it. So it's more of a natural brow bone highlight. Next up, I feel like this is a shade that a lot of you guys are probably familiar with. It's called Shimma Shimma. I love wearing this one all over my lid on natural days, and it's another shadow that I love to use on my inner corner. I love this color. I feel like it's very versatile. You can use it for many different things. Like I said, your inner corner, your lid. I've actually got some on a brush before when I was in a pinch and used it as a cheek highlighter. Okay, now moving on to the second row. These are hands down some of my favorite shadows, and I know when you look at that row, it kind of looks boring compared to the other ones, but I love a good matte crease color. I feel like they're hard to come by in the drugstore. Palettes obviously are coming out with more and more, but I feel like whenever you do get a palette, there's really only one or two that you really rely on, and then the other ones are either too dark or too shimmery, like, or I guess satiny. These are just like flat mattes that are absolutely incredible. So the first one here comes as no surprise. I'm sure every single person who has a MakeupGeek video out has mentioned this one. This is Peach Smoothie, and it's honestly the best crease color in the world. I guess I shouldn't say crease, more of a color to like transition from your crease to your brow bone. As you can see, it's just a really nice creamy matte peach color. Love this one. This is an absolute must-have. Like, I feel like anyone who orders from MakeupGeek, like, it has to be in your first order. I feel like MakeupGeek shouldn't let you order anything else until that product is like placed into your cart. The next one is called Beaches and Cream. Let me show you guys side by side. As you can see, Peach Smoothie, which is this one here, definitely does have more peach to it. You were really fair, then maybe go with this one instead, but I feel like you still need Peach Smoothie. Lots of times I take both and mix them together, but both of these work amazing to just kind of transition from between your lid or your crease and your brow bone. I have Creme Brulee and Latte. These are other colors that I like to use in the crease, but this is something that I would use like as a transition color, but I would still use Peach Smoothie. Let's say I had like a matte brown or a deep color all over my crease and I kind of wanted to blend that into Peach Smoothie. These are the colors I would use. I really like wearing these on kind of like the no makeup days too, whenever I do still just want to create some dimension in my eye. Just since I do have hooded eyes, I still like to mimic the look of a crease. I really like both of these. Another color that is a total must-have for everyone is Chickadee. Now, I know when you look at this, you're just kind of like, that just looks like a matte yellow orange. What's so special about it? Almost looks like you crumbled up Cheetos and packed it into a pan. But I promise you, this is such like, it's the best color for your crease. I know I said that about the last 5 colors, but it's true. There's something about MakeupGeek and transitional crease colors. They just nailed it on the head. Like, I feel like if you're looking for those colors, go to MakeupGeek, you're gonna find what you need. These two colors here, I feel like this is another shade that many of you have probably heard of. This is Cocoa Bear, and it is the most gorgeous eyeshadow ever. There's probably this one, and then I'll go ahead and mention this one right now too. Bitten. These two are hands down my favorite when it comes to all over lid colors, outer corner colors, anything like that. When you're looking for a nice, like warm, rich, like chestnut brown or cranberry color to just warm up your lid or crease, these are my go-tos. I absolutely love them. I feel like everyone who has Bitten, it's been in at least one favorite video. It's gorgeous, like blended down on your lower lash line, just in your crease. Both of these seriously are just heavenly. I feel like pretty much every eyeshadow in here is matte, but like I said, sometimes it's just hard to find good quality matte eyeshadows. Obviously Lorac has them, but I prefer the formula of these even over the Lorac Pro shadows, just because those ones tend to get, you know, like how they flick up a lot of that powder. These just, you don't have fallout. They blend nicely. The color selection is amazing. They're $5.99. Need I say more? Obsessed. One color that I feel like does not get enough love is Cupcake. This is just like a matte, almost like kind of like a lavender type pink color. When you look at it in the pan, it doesn't look like anything special. It's definitely something I would have overlooked, but I ordered it whenever I placed my first initial order. And I'm so glad I got it because it's another one of those colors that you can use to just like buff into your crease just to create a nice transition. It's such a pretty color. And like I said, I never really hear anybody talk about it. If you guys are into wearing purple eyeshadows, then this is definitely a must-have because anytime I wear purples, I feel like I always use some of this color just to blend something out and just to really kind of like smooth out the smokiness. It's so, so pretty. This one here is called Cosmopolitan. If you're into rose gold, you need this one. It's so pretty. It's so metallic. I really like using this one with a wet brush. It goes on fine and dry as well, but I feel like when you do use it with a wet brush, it just really like glistens and has this awesome like metallic factor. It's absolutely gorgeous. Another one of those kind of like deep plum colors like BITTEN is Burlesque. I feel like this is a deeper metallic version of BITTEN. It's so, so pretty. I actually just filmed a tutorial using this one. Love it. I feel like this is a staple in the fall and winter. Preppy and Mocha. Once again, just colors that I love, either just on my lid or my crease. Honestly, I wish I could mention every single MakeupGeek shadow because there's so many good ones, but I felt like for the most part in this video, I stuck with the neutrals because I feel like that's what I get the most use out of. But the very final shadow I wanted to mention is this one here called Corrupt. As you can see, it's just a matte black, but it's honestly one of like the blackest blacks ever. I really like getting like a firm, flat, stiff, what is that called from Sigma? I can't think of it. I love getting that shadow and just kind of packing it right onto my lash line and almost using it as a liner. That's after wiping it on a towel and it's still that dark. It's just so crazy pigmented. But yeah, hopefully this video wasn't forever long. It probably was, but there were just too many good products to mention. Honestly, I felt like I could have probably mentioned like 15 more, but I hope this helped you guys out a bit. If there are any recommendations that you guys have for me, I'm not gonna lie, I think I pretty much have all of her eyeshadows, but maybe there's one that I overlooked. Be sure to leave that in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!